Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're here because I got a lot of good news for you. First of all, Happy New Year. I haven't seen you guys since last year and it's been a long time, so I want to say hello and Happy New Year. I hope the new year has been good to you so far. And I went to Peru. So basically that's what I'm going to be talking to you guys about, my trip to Peru. It was kind of like a reset for me, even though that's not what I intended it to be, but it kind of worked out that way. Anyway, I had a blast and I want to tell you guys about it because it is really a beautiful country. At the time that we were planning the trip, I didn't know that I would love Peru as much as I did. It was kind of like a different type of vacation for all of us because we're used to like going to a beach and just like vegging out on a beach for a week or whatever, have some drinks, have some food, and get tan and just relax. And this trip was not relaxing at all, but in the best way. It was really exciting because we had excursions like every day. We were up super early in the morning and we didn't come back until later in the evening, and we had just enough time to shower and pass out. So first of all, I want to talk about the flight. From where I came from Georgia, from Atlanta to Peru. So from Hartsville-Jackson, they don't have like a bunch of flights going to Peru. So it's not a super long flight, but they don't have that many going. So we flew from Atlanta to Lima, and then from Lima to Cusco. Once we got to Cusco finally, we had almost an entire day before we were gonna start our first excursion. This wasn't planned at all because we figured we would just like hang around town, get some food, just see what was going on, to do a little bit of our own exploration before we started our first excursion. But we were so tired and so hungry that we didn't really feel like doing that much sightseeing, so we got a hotel. Now moving on to weather. So I would say bring a lot of light layers. It was really cool in the morning, hot during the day, and then really cool at night, like chilly, super cold at night. The Airbnb we stayed in had a fireplace. If we had the time, we would have like cozied up with some blankets, lit the fire, and like had some wine or something, you know what I mean? And one thing I'm gonna say about the weather is do not be fooled by the fact that you don't see the sun, because we never saw like the sun come up or the sun go down, but that sun will get you. Like, make sure you bring sunscreen and bug spray. When you go on your excursions, you don't know if you're gonna be like in the jungle or where you're gonna be, so you just want to be prepared, because my ankles got bit up when we went to Machu Picchu. So now on to the exciting part, the expeditions or the tours. Those were amazing. I'll link anything I can down below, and ask me questions in the comments if there's something that I missed, which I'm sure I'm gonna miss something because it was just so many things going on the trip. Ask me questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I can with the best answers I can. The first place we stayed at was Sky Lodge. So basically we hiked up 1,200 feet in the air, and I'm gonna tell you, first of all, I'm not a hiker, I'm not like adventurous, I'm not athletic or anything like that. I'm trying to be better about that. And I feel like this was like my boost, you know what I'm saying? This was like my kick in the pants, like you gotta start being more active. Anyway, we hiked up a freaking mountain and slept there. And they're really serious about safety. They don't mess around, they make sure that you understand what they're talking about. They still want you to know like the magnitude of the situation. You are hiking up a mountain, they want you to be safe, they want you to take precautions, but they want you to have fun. After we did our safety course, we started our hike up the mountain. It was the three of us hiking up the mountain, and then it was two other couples. One of the couples, the woman was pregnant, and I was like so shocked that she was gonna go up this mountain while she was pregnant. But when she said she was pregnant, I was like, no, I definitely gotta be able to get up this mountain. But when I started climbing up the mountain, I was out of breath probably like the first 5 minutes. First of all, the altitude is crazy. You really feel it. Like, you'll be walking on a straight, flat area, and you'll be out of breath, like winded. Like, oh, I'm just gonna walk to the corner. I only took 2 steps, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy like that. So I definitely underestimated things. So when I started going up the mountain, and it was chilly, so I had on a long sleeve shirt and a zip up hooded sweatshirt. And I started, going up there, and I was getting hot. I had to like take that off, roll up my sleeves. It was getting crazy. And I was like, for a few times up the mountain, I was like, wow, am I gonna be able to do this? Because I was ready to like stop. I was like, maybe I made a bad decision. But my friends were pushing me, we were pushing each other really. And we stopped along the way. The guides that we had, they talk to you and tell you, if you have questions about anything, they're there to help you and answer your questions. But they were really, 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 really amazing. Like, one of the things that one of them said to me was, if you can't talk and hike at the same time, you need to slow down, because they really want you to enjoy the experience. I mean, obviously they don't want you to take forever to get up the mountain, but they don't rush you at all. You know what I'm saying? They said typically it takes about an hour and a half to get up the mountain. I think we did pretty good time because by the time we got to the top, like to the pod where we were having dinner, it was like, it just was getting dark. So I think we did pretty good. Right before it got dark, we reached the top and had dinner in one of the capsules. I call it the dinner pod. I don't know what they call it. And it was like, you really worked for your food. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt so triumphant when we made it up there. I can't even explain the feeling that I felt. It was like, I could do anything. Like, after you do that, you could do anything. Like, if you're not somebody who is like used to doing athletic hiking, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of activity, after you do that, because for the average person, that was like, I'm still like thinking about like, I can't believe I did that. You know what I'm saying? Like, for people who know me, they would not expect that from me. I wouldn't expect it from myself. So anyway, we had dinner in the pod. Dinner was pretty good. There was like a point during this dinner where I had like a magical moment, and I feel like it kind of made the trip for me. That one moment, we were all sitting. They gave you wine, and then they gave us a couple extra bottles we could take back to our sleeping pod. It was just so beautiful. And then, you know, it's like the sun is gone, and it's like getting like twinkle time. The stars are coming out, and you have a great view. It looks so, the landscape was like amazing. It was like fake, like you just peel it back like it was a set. It was just so beautiful. So after dinner, we went to our sleeping pods. That was actually might have been the scariest part of the whole thing, because we were in the highest pod, and actually our pod was like a little bit higher than the dinner pod. So now it's dark, and we have like these little lights on our helmets. So we have to climb up into our pod, and it's really windy, it's cold, and we're tired. You know, it's like you accomplish something, you sit down and have dinner, and it's like, okay, well, strap up, we gotta do it one more time before you go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a little bit nerve-wracking. But anyway, we made it into our sleeping pod. They had like a little patio, I guess you could call it, like right before you get into the pod. And you could sit out there and take pictures and everything like that. But it was really windy and really cold, so we didn't do that. But the opportunity was there. Then we slept in our pod. We had like a little summer party. And it was really nice. It was just me and two of my friends, and we really enjoyed the pod. That was the Sky Lodge. I would totally recommend that. It was one night that we did, and really one night is enough. Then we had breakfast. We went to the dinner breakfast pod again. We had our meal, and then you have to zip line down.
Break! Woo! Oh, come on. Keep coming. It's not going no more.
And then one of the zip lines is so long that you have to go in tandem with a guide.
There you go.
Then after the Sky Lodge, we got back to our Airbnb. We were exhausted. The Airbnb was great. I would say use your same judgment when you're picking Airbnbs that you would use for a hotel. Make sure you check in the stars, read the reviews. We got a super host for our Airbnb. She was really sweet. It kind of felt like a hotel because she came in and she made the beds and gave us new towels, and they took the trash out and all that kind of stuff. She like cleaned the place up, so then we came back, we had like a great, comfortable place to sleep. And we just basically passed out. We had enough time to take showers and then on to the next excursion. The next day we planned to go to Machu Picchu. We had to be up and out at like 3:45 a.m. It was crazy. So we went to Machu Picchu. It was a train ride, but it was really nice. It reminded me of like an old school train. And then we get to Machu Picchu. The ride along the way was so beautiful. You get to see more landscape. I mean, like, honestly, it was landscape for days. Like, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So after you get off the train, then you gotta get on a bus ride to Machu Picchu. Then we got to Machu Picchu, and then the guide we had, he was great too. Like, he was so good with us because we wanted to take so many photos. You know, every angle was like, oh my gosh, we gotta take a photo here, we gotta take a photo here, and it turned into like a full-on photo shoot at Machu Picchu. It was so beautiful, but you gotta get your photos in. But he kept saying to us that he didn't mind because it usually rains. So because it was such beautiful weather and there really weren't any clouds, he was like, you have to take photos. Like, you have to make sure you guys get as many photos as you want. So he was like so patient with us, and he was telling us the history of Machu Picchu and, you know, giving us all these stories. And it's like, obviously you learn about these places in school and you retain what you retain, but when you're there and then you have somebody to be able to paint the picture for you, it was just really cool to be able to be at a place that has such a rich history, and then you're painting a picture in your mind, like, you know. I would say it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. And the tours that we went on were private. It was enough of us to be able to do private tours. If it's enough people in your group, or even if it's just the two of you, you have to pay a little bit extra. The tour guide is only accommodating your party. It's just better. After Machu Picchu, we went to a town called Chinchero. It was a sacred place. They had a little marketplace. I mean, there were so many women. They were so nice. And then we met this one woman. I don't know her name, but she was so sweet. And I just wanted to buy all of her stuff because she was just so sweet. I got this beautiful scarf. I'm not gonna unwrap the whole thing because it's so big, but it's made from alpaca. And alpaca is one of the animals that they have there that they use for a lot of their clothing. It's handmade. It's very delicate, you could tell, because if you're too rough with it, it kind of pulls a little bit. And she said you need to hand wash it, but they had this in a bunch of colors. My friend, she got like a beautiful rug. It was red and it had like designs going through it. It was so beautiful. That was gorgeous. All the ladies there, we had to buy something from that woman because she was just perfect. She was just so cute. So after we went to Chincheto, I hope I'm saying that right, which is the center of weaving. I had to check my notes, sorry guys, but that's why they had so much of the textiles and the weaving and all those kind of things, because it's the center of weaving. So after that, we went to a little village called Mizmane. I call it the women's village, but there are men living there too. The reason why I was calling it the women's village because the women there are kind of at the forefront, at least the women that we met. They have something where they incorporate what they do with the tourism. So you come into their village, they sing for you, they dance with us, they cooked for us, and then after we eat, they show us how they do the weaving. They showed us the herbs that they use to make the colors. They showed us, they even let us do it. They actually have a root that they use like a detergent, so to clean like the sheep's wool. It was just so cool. So they were showing us how they do it, and they use some insects to make colors, and they mix with the herbs and all that kind of stuff. It was really cool. So after the women's village, we went to the salt mines, and then we see where they're like little plots of where salt is farmed. Only families in Peru own these plots, and they're the only ones who could sell the salt once they mine it and all those kind of things, and then you could buy the salt there. It was really, really beautiful. So that was really cool. I would say definitely check out the excursions. I don't, you know, depending on the length of your trip, you'll be able to see how many you'll be able to do, but definitely worth it. I would say you would definitely have to check out Plaza de Armas. We stayed close to there. We could walk there. There are lots of shops there, but they did tell us that everything was a little overpriced there, so keep that in mind. But then we went to San Pedro Market. San Pedro Market was just another market where they had juices, they had clothes, they had textiles. And at that market, I got this hat. The hat is a little small for me, but I'm gonna get it stretched. But I had to get this hat because first of all, it's super cute. It's made out of cowhide and it's like calf hair. The woman that I got it from her store, her husband makes these hats. They're handmade. So I thought it was so amazing. It's first of all, it's so cute, and then it's to be handmade. I thought that was really cute. And then I met the woman whose husband makes the hats. I also got this hat. I didn't get this from any of the plazas or the markets. Excuse me, Gizmo, sit down. Sit down. Gizmo's trying to get my hat. I didn't get this from any of the markets or the plaza. I just found it at a shop, like it was across the street from, I think it was the St. Regis Hotel, I don't remember. But anyway, like I said, alpaca is an animal that they use a lot there. They had, like, ladies hold alpacas on the streets, like little baby alpacas, and you can take photos with them. And they charge you for photos, so watch out for that too. If you're not trying to pay, don't take a photo with them. Yeah, so that's everything as far as like what we did on the trip and all the excursions that we took. Like I said before, a typical trip for me, I like shopping on vacation, so I would find like the best mall or the best outlet or whatever they have there, I would find it and attack. But Peru's not like that. They have a lot of handmade things. Keep that in mind. You can buy some great gifts for people. You can get alcohol. I brought back a couple of bottles of alcohol. Pisco Sour is like their drink, and I wanted to like recreate that at home. It tastes pretty good, actually. It reminds me of margarita, but overall, the food in Peru, I wouldn't say it's super, it was okay. We did find a couple of good restaurants, but overall, it's really about the people, the landscape, the beauty of the place, like go on those excursions. It was a trip to remember, and I hope that everybody gets a chance to visit the country because it was just a really great experience. So that's it for my trip to Peru, you guys. I also want to make sure that I told you guys, thank you for following me on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for following me on my social media accounts, parkeav.co. If you don't follow me, make sure you check me out. I'll link everything down at the bottom, and ask me any questions you want. Leave me some video ideas too, you guys. I mean, I'm coming with my own list, but it'll be cool to know what you guys want to see from me. You know what I'm saying? See you in the next video. Toodles, or ciao, as they say in Peru. Right, Gizmo? Or au revoir. Bye, guys.